I'm a bad motherfucker.
So, it's when AJ sends me texts like this, please come back on when I'm back in town next week. And I wanted to bring this up to the audience because no doubt I'm going to be accused for selling out, for using his platform to reach hundreds of thousands of people and trying to warn them about this agenda. And to me, if we save some lives and save some people from getting caught in the MKUltra counterculture BS that they've been peddling for since the 50s, it's worth it, And I get messages just about every day from people for helping them back, helping them out of this New Age, CIA, Esalen Institute, Stanford Research Institute drug cult, or cults. And I've exposed that there's several dozens of cults that they've launched. So I wanted to get feedback from the audience this morning on what they think if I do go back on and, get your, let you, since you've investigated this whole thing and the angles behind the scenes with the JRE show, et cetera, more than I have. I wanted to get your feedback as well, but, I'd love to see what the audience has to say in the comments here. And Freaking Freddy says, so does anyone think that Joe and Alex was a stage drama, or is it just me? And I think it was probably a staged drama, and that's what we're here to talk about this morning. So, that's kind of what it's all about. So, people post up your comments in the chat there if you're listening. Love to hear your feedback on this situation as well. But go ahead, Matt.
Well, I would agree with that comment that for the most part, it was a stage drama. And regardless, it ended in that fashion where both of them benefited
you
from
just
it.
started
Joe
cutting
now
out.
has credibility again.
You just started cutting out there. Let it catch back up. Not sure what's going on there. Go ahead.
Okay. So as far as it started out, regardless of how it started out, if Alex was legitimately upset at Rogan for some reason, it doesn't matter. It ended in a stage drama where it's a WWE show where both of them benefited in the end. Both of them.
And I did not. And I'm accused of, selling out because I went on AJ's show.
Yep. And then your live streaming abilities get taken away as well. And I honestly think Rogan has that much access and influence where he can remove shows. For example, with the Elon Musk securing 420. I forget exactly how it went, but anyway, the manipulation of stock prices, people broke that down very well in YouTube videos, and every single one of those videos were then removed from YouTube. It seems like anybody who criticizes Rogan ends up getting censored, except for Alex, but it ultimately turned into a WWE show where everybody benefited except for Jan. So
I was the fall guy for the whole thing, essentially. So Sanchez says, yeah, bro, go back on. And then William says, jump on the censorship wave while it's on the right side next week. And then Sanchez says, you being on AJ's show years ago is how I found your work. And then William says, I found you from your last appearance. So, and this is just a handful of comments, and there's only 44 people listening because my other channel was 62 or 60,200 viewers. I can't broadcast to that channel for at least another month and a half. Who knows? And their charges are just that I violated community standards. They don't tell you how you violated them. Right. Apparently going on and exposing MKUltra and their promotion of drugs to kids and the destruction of the family is a violation of community standards. Kevin says, go back on. And then Freddie says, but your damage will be, or your credibility will be damaged. And then, it's like, Ahmed is speaking in Serbo-Croat. Let's see, Evropskam, and in Europe. Sorry, I'm just trying to read Serbo-Croatian. My Serbo-Croatian is terrible these days. And he says good morning in Serbo-Croatian. So anyway, let's see. Go back on and get into On It and Aubrey Marcus. So I think that's the show that they're afraid is going to rock the boat, you know. And, you know, I think that's what they don't want.
Well, regardless, I disagree with anybody who says that you going on Jones's show, it loses your credibility, because I agree with you 100% that you should absolutely use that avenue if you can to even get some of this information out. And I also agree that you should go back on, but I don't think you should hold any punches. Maybe not mention On It, but really get deeply into the history of MK Ultra and reference it and put it in reference with what Rogan is doing now and with what this modern MK Ultra movement's doing, because understanding the history allows you to understand which direction this modern movement's going in. And the fact that they've been, like you said, they've been doing this since the 50s. It's a continuation of these same mind control, cultural shifting operations.
So let's see. Milk Latte says, go for it, Jan. No other platform with such amount of people will have you at the moment. Use it wisely. Yeah, you know, back in the day, I was even on Coast to Coast AM before I started exposing all this stuff. As long as you're selling the agenda, they promote you. And as soon as you wake up and go, hey, wait a second, you know, it says, Freddie says he's going to catch the replay. He's still, and then William says, I still think AJ went rogue for a bit and was reined in, very possibly. Let's see, and yet again, they don't want to tell your name, Jan. Agreed, Ahmed, and let's see. I'm just reading their comments right now, but yeah, the whole thing is just it stinks.
Mm-hmm.
You know, no matter how I look at it, you know, it's very possible that my channels and everything could be totally shut down, you know, and I would need, you know, way more support from the audience than I've been getting to be able to pull this off, you know, because, you know, when they shut down my live feed and I can't reach 60,000 people, I can't, you know, it makes it a lot more difficult to pay the bills. So, you know, it's good to have all of you, you know, out there in the audience support the show and everything, because, you know, if I go on there and try to expose more of this stuff and I'm shut down, then what am I going to do? Let's see. Dr. Cameron and the sub-projects with COINTELPRO and Mockingbird Media has a lot of people confused and getting triggered. And then, and that was Lee. CJM says, no one has credibility on YouTube anymore. It's only about getting info out and not who cares anymore. Might as well jump. Yeah, I don't know. Topic is to do AJ or not to do AJ. Yeah, pretty much. And to talk to you about your show. And then Kevin says, your credibility is bulletproof. Ahmed says, I'm going to watch the replay. He's going out. Take care. Ciao, vidimose. Ahmed, enjoy. Oh, so, wow. Anyway, you know, it's like, it's a tough shoot. It's a tough situation to decide on, because, you know, if, you know, I've spent a decade building my channel up to where it was, and, you know, when you're not promoting kittens and puppies and selling psychedelic drugs, you're not the top podcast anymore. They push you down pretty quickly, you know. And I started out back in the late 2000s as one of the biggest shows out there. And so it's been interesting to watch them try to suppress my research over the years. And, you know, we should just, you know, and I should mention that I uploaded your show to my BitChute channel exposing all of this stuff, and I highly recommend people watch that. I also uploaded it to both of my YouTube channels. Here's Matthew's channel here, Matthew North, and you'll want to watch this episode here, and I recommend everybody download it I've also put it on my channel. I corrected the audio for Matthew the other day and re-uploaded it to my channel. You're welcome, brother, and no problem on that. And so it's got 5,029 views on my channel. It's got not many on BitChute, but it's got like 105, 110 views on BitChute. But people need to download it and re-upload it all over the place. We need that to go viral so that people can see what the heck is going on there, you know. And, you know, it's like people were attacking me. Well, how can you go on Alex Jones' show and then have this guy on who's attacking Alex Jones? And it's like, well, you know, Alex is a platform. And we're not saying that everything Alex puts out is invalid. Alex puts out a lot of valid research that totally coincides with work that I've done. And then you see stunts like last week that makes you scratch your head and go, wait a second. You know, my being on his show looks like a setup, you know. And then him going on Joe Rogan's show. The whole thing is just fishy as can be.
Yeah, and I agree. And also, who knows what could happen if you did go on his show? Maybe they'll censor you for good and use Alex Jones as an excuse. Maybe that's what their game plan is. I don't really know. These are sophisticated psychological warfare operations, in my opinion, and Alex is as well. And I've done research on that and videos on that. And I think he's a mind war operation where one of the core concepts of mind war is weaponizing truth. So taking a lot of truthful information and using it as a weapon to also mix in disinformation and lead people in the wrong direction. And Jan's show gets censored on Alex. So having Jan on is an aspect of truth, using him as the weapon.
You're cutting out there again.
Regardless, that information still gets out. So I think, I'm not sure if that's
Go ahead. Yeah, you're back again, but your feed keeps getting garbled up there. I don't know if you have something else running in the background.
Okay. So having Jan on is truthful information, and that information gets out there regardless. So I think that's always a positive. What they do with it, I don't know. But for example, Jan's interview with Jones gets censored off YouTube, but, you know, for exposing real truth, you know, not actual good information, directing people in the right direction. But Rogan can sit up there on his podcast and take illegal substances like mushrooms on camera, and that's fine, you know. And then a kid sees that and they want to take mushrooms. They think it's just a normal thing to do, and they think it's not a massive experience that you know, is something to prepare for. You know, that isn't something to take lightly, like you just take it, you know, like Rogan portrays. So why isn't his podcast censored? Where Jan's
yeah,
is.
you know, and he can sit there and, you know, rip bong loads, and, you know, even back before it was legal, he was just sitting there smoking weed all the time. You know, you pointed out he may have been doing coke in the background, etc. So, and then I'm censored for telling people not to do drugs. You know, how does that work? You know, it's just ridiculous. I also wanted to mention that, and I'm probably going to play this while we're sitting here talking, my Terrence and Dennis McKenna exposed video that I put out yesterday. I think that might be a good one for us to broadcast today so people can see more of that. You down with me playing that while we're going here? All right, let's bring that up. I'm going to share screen here. Let's see. Share audio. Here we go. I'm going to bring this up here. Up. Here, I just shared that on the wrong monitor, so let me just fix that just a second. Bring this over here. Oh, where'd it go now? I just had it. Good grief. All right, here we go.
Hey, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down there for more AM Joy.